Second Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. When it comes, the heavens will disappear with a horrific noise, and the celestial bodies will melt away in a blaze, and the earth and every deed done on it will be laid bare. I like to give all glory and praises to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. I like to give all glory and praises to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. The marks and the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief, okay? So we're in those times and seasons, and this is the hour, okay? So this is the hour. We hear, okay? We hear. And Yahweh's day of judgment is going to come like a thief. The book of John, chapter 17, verse 1. When Yahweh Shai had finished saying these things, he looked up to the heaven and said, Father, the time has come. Glorify the Son so that your Son may glorify you. Just you. So the hour's here, okay? We in the last times, and basically the hour's here, okay? We have to keep Yahweh's divine judgments, keep his teachings, and keep his laws, okay? That's what this is all about. The book of First John chapter 2, verse 18. Children, it is the last hour, and just as you have heard that the Antichrist will come, so there are many Antichrists have appeared. Okay, we know that this is the last hour. Okay, so this is the last hour. Okay, we hear. Okay, Yahweh Shai is not going to keep relenting in this judgment. Okay, you have to pray to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai while you still can, so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down, okay? You want to save your life, but you're going to go and try to save your life and lose your life, okay? The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 12. Then I looked, and when the Lamb opened the sixth seal, there was a huge earthquake took place, and the sun became as black as sackcloth, and the hair, and the full moon became red as blood red, and the stars in the sky fell on the earth like a fig top dropping from its unripened figs when they're shaken by a fierce wind. The sky was split apart like a scroll being rolled up, and the mountains and every mountains and islands were moved out of its place. That's talking about these thermonuclear missiles hitting this place. Boom, boom, boom. Ears start bleeding, okay? Urinate on yourself, why don't you, okay? You feel it, instant panic sets in, okay? That's what this is all about, okay? You feeling it. And its unripe as figs shake as a fierce wind. The sky rolls, split apart like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place. Then the kings of the earth, the very important people, the generals, the rich and powerful, and every one slave and free hid themselves in caverns and among the rocks of the mountains. They said unto the mountains and to the rocks, fall on us, hide us, and send us from the that sits on the one that sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, because great because a great day of their wrath has come. Who is able to withstand it? Okay, the only ones who is able to withstand it are the elect. Okay, that's going to be destined to make it out of here with their life. Okay, thermonuclear destruction is going to hit this place, okay, and destroy it, okay. That's why you have to call upon Yahweh, Yahweh Shai now, while there's still time, while the doors of mercy are still open. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's over. I think the elect are sealed. Okay. I think we already on this midnight train in Georgia out of here. We just waiting for Yahweh Shai to push the button on this man. Okay. That's all we waiting for. I think it's already over. Okay, that's me speaking as a man. Okay, just judging what prophecy is, judging what prophecy is, and I judge it, and I look to see where we are in prophecy. Okay, that's what this is all about. I think it's already over. Okay, we're just going through the motions. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. And he answered me then and said, Measure thou time diligently inside thyself, and when thou seest partly of the signs past which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth which he made. Okay? It's the very same time where Yahweh Shai is going to visit the earth that he made. Okay, one moment here. The book of Isaiah 26, verse 21. Look, Yahweh is coming out of the place where he lives to punish the sin of those who live on the earth. The earth will display the blood shed on it. It will no longer cover up its slain. Okay, so that's what I judging where we are now. Okay, this thing is going down. Okay, and you want to make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 1. This is an article about Babylon that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw on the bare hill. On a bare hill, raise a flag, shout to them, wave the hand. We're the Israelites, okay? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you the true Israelites, okay? You the true Jews, okay? It's not the Jews over there, okay? It's not those gutter rats. I have given orders to my chosen soldiers. I have summoned the warriors to whom I vent my anger, my boasting arrogant ones. There is a loud noise on the mountains. It is a sound of like a huge army. There is a great commotion among the kingdoms. Nations are being assembled. Yahweh of heavenly armies is mustering up the battle. They come from a distant land, from the horizon. It is Yahweh with his instrument of judgment coming to destroy the whole earth. Okay. What's this about? Okay. Thermonuclear weapons. Okay. The ICBMs. Okay. Destroying this place. Okay. Destroying this man. Okay. Making this place desolate. Well, for Yahweh's day of judgment is near. It comes as a destructive power of the sovereign one. For this reason, all hands lay limp. Every human heart loses its courage. They panic, cramps and pain seize hold of them. So, like those of a woman who is straining to give birth, they look at one another in astonishment. Their faces are flushed red. Look, Yahweh day of judgment is coming. It is a day of cruelty and savage rage of anger, destroying the earth and what annihilating its sinners. Okay, destroying its sinners. Okay, this place is about to be destroyed. Okay, Yahweh Shai is going to destroy this place. Okay, that's why you have to call upon the name Yahweh Shai while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open. Okay, that's what this is all about. Calling on the names of Yahweh Shai while you still can. Indeed, verse 10, indeed the stars in the skies and their constellations no longer give their light. The sun is darkened as it soon rises, and the moon does not shine. I will punish the world for its evil and the wicked people for their sins. I will put an end to the pride of the insolence. I will bring down the arrogance of tyrants. Okay, so he's going to bring down the so-called white man. Okay, the so-called white man days are numbered. Okay, he's about to be destroyed. The book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 1. After this, I saw four angels standing at the four corners of the earth, holding back the four winds of the earth, so no wind could blow on the earth, on the sea, or any tree. Okay, those winds represent thermonuclear destruction. Okay, destroying this man. Okay, this man is about to be destroyed. That's what this is all about. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 17. Let's go with verse 16. For just as you drunk on my holy mountain, so that the nations will drink continually, they will drink and they will gulp down. They will be as they have never been. So Yahweh is going to destroy these nations like as they have never been. Okay, this man's going down. And if you don't want to be caught in the crosshairs, okay, you best to call on the names of Yahweh Shai, so you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. Verse 17, but on Mount Zion there will be a remnant of those that escape, as if will be a place once again. The descendants of Jacob will conquer those who conquered them. Okay, so we're going to conquer those who conquered us. Turn to the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel 21, 21, verse 11. Let's start at verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say to this is what Yahweh said, a sword is sharpened, it is polished, it is sharpened for the slaughter, it is polished and flashed like lightning. Should we rejoice in the scepter of my son? No, the sword despises every tree. He gave it to a polisher. He grasped it in the hands. The sword is sharpened. It is polished. Give it into the hands of the executioner, okay? And those executioners with the thermonuclear weapons hitting this man, destroying them, okay? That's what this is all about. This place is going down. The book of Ezekiel chapter 30, verse 2. Son of man, prophesy and say, this is what the sovereign Yahweh says. Well, at last, that day is here. For the day of Yahweh is near. The day of Yahweh is near. It is a day of storm clouds. It is a day of judgment for the nations. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 32, verse 7. I will extinguish you, I will cover the skies, I will darken its stars, I will cover up the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not shine. I will darken all the lights in the sky over you. I will darken your land, declares the sovereign Yahweh. I will disturb many people when I bring about your destruction among the nations. Countries, among countries you do not know, I will shock many people with you, and their kings will shiver with horror because of you when I brandish my sword before them. Every moment each will tremble for his life on the day of your fall, okay? So on the day of this man's fall, okay, he's going to be destroyed. What you think is going to happen to this man, okay? He's going to be destroyed. That's why you have to call upon Yahweh, Yahweh Shai while you still can. The book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 6. Seek Yahweh while he makes himself available. Call upon him while he is nearby. The wicked needs to abandon their lifestyle and sinful people their plans. They should turn to Yahweh and he will show them mercy and to them and to their power, for he will freely forgive them, okay? The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 60. Jeremiah recorded on one scroll all the judgments that would come upon Babylon, and these and the prophets signs written about Babylon. Then Jeremiah said to Sariah, when thou have arrived in Babylon, make sure you read out loud all these prophecies, then when thou and then say, "Oh Yahweh, you have announced that you will destroy this place so that no people or animals live in here any longer. Certainly, it will be desolate forever." When you finish reading this scroll out loud, tie a stone and throw it into the midst of the Euphrates River. Then say, in the same way, Babylon will sink and never rise again because of the disaster. I am ready to bring upon her, and they will grow faint. So that's what this is about. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 7. Be silent before Yahweh, the sovereign Yahweh, for the day of Yahweh's judgment is almost here. Yahweh has prepared a sacrificial meal. He hath richly purified his guests. On the day of Yahweh's sacrificial meal, I will punish the princes and the king's sons and all who wear foreign stylish of clothing. Okay, so that's what this is all about. Yahweh Shai is he coming here to destroy this man, okay, and destroy this place. And you have to call upon the names while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open, okay. And once again, I believe that the doors of mercy it's already shut, okay. We're just going through the motions. We know we have somebody, the elect at the last hour is going to wake up, but they was already predestined to wake up at the last hour, okay? The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. Let's start at verse 18. Malachi, chapter 3, verse 18. Then once more you will see that I will distinguish between the righteous and the wicked, between the one who serves power and the one who does not. Malachi 4, verse 1. For indeed the day of Yahweh is coming, burning like a furnace, and all their armies and evildoers will be chaff. And the coming day will burn them up, says Yahweh of heavenly armies. It will not leave them even root nor branch, okay? The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 2. Who can endure the day of his coming? Who can keep watching while standing while he is near? For he will be like a refiner's fire, like a launderer's soap. He will act like a refiner, purifying of silver, and will cleanse the Levites and refine them like gold and silver. Then they will offer Yahweh a proper offering. The book of Isaiah, chapter 48, verse 10. Look, I will refine you, but not as silver. I will purify you in the furnace of misery. Okay, so you got to be afflicted in this thing. Okay, you got to be afflicted. The book of First Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 3. So that no one could be shaken by these afflictions, for you yourself know that we were destined for this. For in fact, when we were telling you, we told you in advance that we should suffer afflictions, and so it happened, as you well know. And I get you my closeout scripture. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 16. As for your words came to me, I drank them in, and they filled my heart with joy and happiness, because I belong to you, O Yahweh, power of heavenly armies. I did not spend my time in the company of other people, laughing and having a good time. I say to myself, because I feel obligated to you, and because I felt with anger what they have done. Why must I continue to suffer such painful anguish? Why must I endure the stings of their insults like a incurable wound? Will you let me down when I need you? Like a brook, one goes for water but cannot be relied on. Because of this, Yahweh said, you must repent of such words and thought. If you do, I will restore you to the privilege of serving me. If you say what is worthwhile instead what is worthless, I will again allow you to be my spokesman. They must become as you have been. You must not become like them. I will make you strong as a wall to these people, a fortified walls of bronze. They will attack you, but they will not be able to overcome you, for I will be with you to rescue you and deliver you, said Yahweh. I will deliver you from the power of the wicked, and I will free you from the clutches of violent people. Hopefully you was well edified. I like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.